Skip to content Chicago Straight New York Los Angeles Atlanta UK dates. Search homepage Squid-Eyed Ape Home History of Gangs Interviews Forum Squid-Eyed Wiki Clip Decryption. Home USA Chicago Files D. Thang, one of the men's most feared Chicago South. Files D. Thang, one of the most feared men in southern Chicago. By Squid-Eyed Ape posted March 19, 2018 745 reviews. Share on Facebook tweet at Devon Varner, who is better known as D. Thang, was a black disciple of the set Brick City, then of the 600. D. Thang 1 JPG. D. Thang was born on September 5, 1993. He is the penultimate of his three brothers, either Chief Domo is the largest of the four, then comes Triga, then D. Thang and finally M. Thang. Like his two older siblings and unlike M. Thang, D. Thang is 100% from Brick City and was at the time a gangster disciple, like almost all of Brick City. M. Thang. Triga. Chief Domo. Here we will only talk about D. Thang to avoid deviating from his three brothers. So D. Thang grew up with members of the 600 that we know today, Ede, Young Famous, 600 Breezy, Lil Boo etc. D. Thang and Lil Boo were very close, and from what I read could even be considered best friends. Unfortunately, before 2008 and his beginning of reign, D. Thang is very discreet and does not appear anywhere. CO-0 Revat Act 60 D. Thang and Lil Boo from 2007 to 2011. D. Thang will reign terror in South Chicago and more particularly on the 062 in Haro City. It's no secret D. Thang was known to be a X3. I won't put the names here, sorry. It is in 2007 that everything will begin. D. Thang commits his first murder and it will change his life. After the murder, he will bind violence in the South to Chicago and see themselves as addicted. D. Thang isn't going to settle for just the basic shootout, no, he's quite into the bike shootout. Indeed, regularly, accompanied by Lil Boo or not, D. Thang would go by bike to Haro City and the mob to have fun shooting anyone he found in his way. A girl on Twitter says that she even saw D. Thang come down on her enemies, and when her last one saw her, they all ran into the nearest house. In 2008, D. Thang commits his second murder, for which he will be killed in 2011, and became one of the most feared men in the south of Chicago. A fan of cycling, he will kill a woman who was also on a bicycle. She was not innocent. Very quickly, Brick City is surrounded by enemies, Lamrung, O-Block, Haro City, Mob, STLet, and they must find a solution very quickly. D. Thang and Lil Boo will create what we know today as the 600, mid-2010, not to be confused with the Team 600. They will take 4 original members with them, Manny, Booka, Inky D and Day. Brick City then becomes the 600 and everyone then becomes Black Disciples, forcing all Gangster Disciples members to switch. Lamron therefore accepts the alliance first, then O-Block will do the same, which will form the OB600 alliance that we know today. D. Thang and Lil Boo then begin to recruit members but above all, shooters. They are the only two who allow anyone in the 600. Among them, they will recruit a shooter that they all know, Day. Day is one of the little ones that D. Thang prefers the most, and he will not hesitate to put it forward. The two bosses of the 600 then teach several members to hold a weapon and to use it. Note, only S. was not recruited in the 600 by D. Thang or Lil Boo. CX Zyke 4QUO3HZN the 600 in 2011. Around February 2011, 50 shots of Haro City enters O-Block. He will be greeted by D. Thang but 50 shots takes out his gun. D. Thang does not care and with his bare hands he will free it. To tell you how crazy he was in his head, it's OTG Brick who will confess the story of his friend, 50 shots, and D. Thang on Twitter. D. Thang and 50 shots.png. Also in 2011, D. Thang had a personal fallout with Lil J. D. Thang, who is 100% enemy with Haro City, knows that Lil J hangs out with him. The latter will unfortunately try the impossible and go see D. Thang to be recruited into the 600. D. Thang will hide him and then extort him and release him, hence the fact that Lil J is so bent on D. Thang and his music's social networks. On September 13, 2011, 3 years after his second murder, Christopher Hughes alias Haro Dome wants revenge. On September 13th, while D. Thang sits in a vehicle with 600 Breezy and AK, an original member of Brick City. Nothing unusual. The three friends are placed on King Drive. Lil Steve had died a few months AVNT. Unfortunately, a vehicle passes and inside it is none other than Haro Dome and another person, whose name I won't mention but who is deceased, and they grill D. Thang in the vehicle. The vehicle stops and Dome comes out to shoot D. Thang. The latter jumps out of the vehicle and escapes and is not hit. D-Thang returns shortly after to King Drive to find 600 Breezy and AK again before they run into Haro Dome. D-Thang was alone, and the latter shoots him repeatedly. He will be taken to Stroger's hospital where he will be pronounced dead. 1.png 600 Breezy would have been present during the last breath of D-Thang. The latter would even have died in his arms, according to his statements on Twitter. In 2015, 051 Mills will tell us on Twitter that despite the war between their two sets, 051 Young Money and the 600, D-Thang was his friend. 051 Mills and D-Thang.png. Note, Killer D-Thang, Haro Dome should be released in 2022. Here is a tweet from FBG Brick, who said on Twitter that he knew D-Thang personally and that he was a real savage. D-Thang savage. D-Thang. Boo-wop. D-Thang, M-Thang and Baldy. D-Thang. Shortly before dying, he gave Clint Massey a nickname, Rondo No. 9. In his honor, their block will be renamed D-Thang Block. Author. Squid-Eyed Ape. See author's posts. 600 Brick City Chicago Chief Domit Thang 600 D-Thang X3 D-Thang Gangster Disciples Haro City Lil Boom Mob South Trigga. You may also be interested in. Posted May 21st, 2019. How Chief Keef became the most influential hip-hop artist of its generation? 4 comments. Important note, this article is not mine, I just made the French translation. You can find the article here or on. Posted November 15th, 2020. Devon King Von Bennett, the story of the killer rapper, from his birth to his death. King Von was a rapper and member from O Block. Signed to OTF, Only the Family, and Empire Records, he was clearly one. Posted October 15th, 2019. Marvel Wooski Williams, STL at Legend Story. 730 reviews. This article is surely the most anticipated since the one on Chief Keef. Wooski is clearly a legend of STL at and even of. Posted March 6th, 2020. Kiloword, New Money 080, WHO are they? How the War on Terror Dome started. One of the bloodiest wars in Chicago. The Killer Ward is a well-known South Chicago gang alliance. This alliance has existed since the 1980s. Leave a comment. You must log in to post a comment. 745 comments on D-Thang, one of Southern Chicago's most feared men. 5 comments. 740 pings. http://tinyurl.com 2-3 November 2019, 16h 58 minutes. Thanks, very interesting blog. Log in to reply. Sling TV January 18, 2020, 11h 29 minutes. I think this is among the so much important information for me. And I'm glad reading your article. However, want a commentary on some general issues. The site taste is perfect, the articles is truly nice. D excellent job. Cheers. Log in to reply. Sling TV January 19, 2020. 5h 12 minutes. I got this website from my pal who informed me on the topic of this website, and now this time I am visiting this site and reading very informative posts here. Log in to reply. Sling TV Best Package 200 2024 January 2020, 6h 57 minutes. What's up? Just wanted to say, I enjoyed this post. It was helpful. Keep on posting. Log in to reply. Sling TV January 29, 2020. 4h 53 minutes. Very descriptive blog. I loved that a lot. Will there be a part 2? Log in to reply. Browse articles. Previous article. No Love City, they terrorize Brooklyn. Versus the GS9. Back to the list of articles. Next article. The Empire, the history of the mob and front $sign treat. Copyright 2021. Squid-Eyed Ape. All rights reserved. Powered by WP. Made with a customizer theme.